بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of al-Haqa'iq fi Mahasin al-Akhlaq by the late Mulla Muhsin Fayd Kashani. On Wednesdays we study the part on al-Nafs. On Mondays we study the part on contentment. So as you remember, we talked last week about heart being like a mirror. Now we want to expand on the condition of the heart. So the fourth chapter is entitled Al-Qalbu Mithalu Qubbatin Laha Abwab. Heart is like a place, like for example a room, like a hall that has different doors. So we said that in this session we talk about different analogies used to show the situation of the heart and how different things can come and affect the condition of the heart. So one is to consider it as a place that has different doors. تنصب إليه الأحوال من كل باب. From every door, every gate, different conditions, different modes come. أو مثال هدف تنصب إليه السهام من الجوانب. Or like an aim that different arrows target it from different directions, different corners, different angles. So you can say it's a place that has different doors and conditions come from different doors. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, joy, fear, all different things come to the heart. Or an aim that different arrows target it from different places. أو مثال مرآة منصوبة. Or it's like a mirror which is fixed, for example, on a wall. يجتاز عليها أصناف الصور المختلفة. Different types of images come and appear on mirror. Imagine if there is a fixed mirror, people are going, coming, cars, birds, clouds. So this mirror shows at each time different things. So each surah appears after the other. So this is the third analogy. First, قبة لها أبواب. Second, هدف تنصب فيه إليه السهام. Third, مرآة منصوبة. Fourth, أو مثال حوض ينصب فيه مياه مختلفة من أنهار مفتوحة إليه. Or imagine we have a pond or pool from different rivers, water comes. If this one river is, for example, cold, then it brings cold water. If it is warm, it brings warm. If it is sweet, if it is salty, so they bring different water to this pool. Now, after these analogies, now let us see what are these things that come through these doors or through these rivers or these arrows. What are these? مداخل هذه الآثار المتجددة فيه في كل حال إما من الظواهر وإما من الباطن. So entrance, what comes from these effects which are renewed in every condition, are either from حس ظاهر or حس باطن, from something which is obvious, clear, or in it's very much inside. 5 senses, al-Hawas al-Khams, are the things that they have direct impact on the heart. When you see something, when you hear something, when you smell something, when you touch or taste, they go and affect the heart. For example, if you smell very nice fragrance, you feel good in your heart, but it creates desire to move towards that object, for example. Or to buy it. If it's a perfume, you don't have it, you have to buy it, etc. But the inner senses, أما من الباطن, if they are from باطن, فالخيال والشهوة والغضب والأخلاق المركبة في مزاج الإنسان. These are all results of lots of philosophical, especially philosophical psychology, علم النفس الفلسفي. So we don't go into those discussions. Simply, one of the things that very much affects us is our khayal. Khayal is used in philosophy in different senses. Here you can say, like, for example, the faculty for imagination, which is very powerful and keeps creating, combining images which are either not existent outside, or even if they exist, maybe they are not close to us, but khayal has the power of putting things together, making lots of thoughts, and it is very, very powerful, and many times it's very harmful because we don't have control over it. Sometimes, for example, because of imagination of what can be gained through a haram object or haram relation, you fall in love with something or someone. It's all imagination. Or it can make you very much frightened to death. For example, you're next to a dead body. What can the dead body do? But khayal, keeps bringing to you, maybe this now wakes up or is revived. Maybe it's going to attack you. If this, do that. It's all khayal. Why, for example, if you go in the night into the graveyard, we are very afraid. It's all khayal. It's imagination. If you don't know that this is graveyard, you go through it without feeling anything. But if you know, you will be frightened. So, khayal is one thing. Shahwa, the faculty for appetites, again brings lots of things to the heart. Ghadab, anger. And also those akhlaq, those characteristics that are based on your disposition. In your disposition, for example, if someone is impatient, in the sense as has tendency, indisposition to become impatient. This person needs to work on himself or herself a lot to go to the balanced. Some people in their mizaj, they are stressful, they're nervous. Some people are very patient, very relaxed. Of course, you can always lose these things or strengthen these things. You have free will. But we cannot deny that the human disposition has impact. Even sometimes in traditional medicine, they talk about impact of the food. Certain foods, for example, can make you very stressful, can make you very despaired, even depressed. Or when the balance inside mizaj is damaged, and for example, you have more soda, for example, a kind of liquid which is causing stress and worries and depression, etc. So anyway, heart gets affected by these things. We are not judging, we are not saying it's a good or bad. We are just describing now that this can happen. It's very important how you react. فإنه إذا أدرك بالحواس شيئا حصل منه أثر في القلب. When heart perceives through senses, the outer ones or the inner senses, when understands something and perceives something, there is athar, there is effect from that on the heart. وكذلك, this is about senses. Shahwa the same. إذا هاجت الشهوة مثلا, if your shahwa is stimulated, is triggered because of eating a lot. أو بقوة المزاج. Some people are of the type that by nature they have lots of shahwa. Some people are not very strong in shahwa because of their disposition. So, if shahwa, because of eating or because of watching certain things, can be triggered, or because of mizaj, then it has some impact on the heart. وَالْآثَارُ تَبْقَى. Then these effects remain. وَيَنْتَقِلُ الْخَيَالُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِلَى شَيْءٍ. Khayal is like a bird that keeps flying from this branch onto the other branch, from that branch to another branch, this tree to that tree. Keeps us, going around. One of the things that doesn't let us to have presence of heart in salat is khayal. If khayal is not trained, it keeps, bringing different things to our mind. وَبِحَسَبِ انْتِقَالِ الْخَيَالِ يَنْتَقِلُ الْقَلْبِ مِنْ حَالٍ إِلَى حَالٍ. So because khayal is moving from one place to another place, our heart also, because of that, is going from one condition to another condition. فَالْقَلْبُ دَائِمًا فِي التَّغَيُّرِ وَالتَّأَثُّرِ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْأَسْبَابِ. Heart is always in change and being influenced by these causes. And one of the most specific effects that we want to discuss is khawatir. Khawatir is plural form for khatir. We also say khatira in Farsi. Khawatir are those things that come to your mind, thoughts that come to your mind, even if you don't want them. Khatara bil bal, yakhduru bil bal. In Adab al-Salat series, we had at least 2, maybe 3 sessions on khawatir and how we should control them in salat. So
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. How much I was disconnected? Did you hear me about khawatir? Pardon?
I think you're muted.
Sorry. When was disconnected?
Just
About khawatir.
Yeah, just about khawatir. But you know, sometimes it breaks up. Maybe it's easier if I share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said in the series on Adab al-Salat, we had 2-3 sessions on khawatir. Even one session I expanded from other sources about how to control our thoughts. So you are Can you hear me?
It's still breaking up, Sheikh. I'm not sure if we should try without the video.
Let me try another internet.
Breaking up.
I'm trying now another internet. Is it better?
No.
Yeah, it's better?
Yeah, I think I can hear you okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I said in the series on Adab al-Salat, we had 2-3 lectures on khawatir. And some of ulama say the greatest challenge for spirituality is how to control your khawatir, unwanted thoughts. So, heart is very much affected by khawatir. What are khawatir? He says, أعني بالخواطر ما يعرض فيه الأفكار والأذكار. Those things that expose or present to the heart thoughts and adhkar. Adhkar means memories. Thoughts, memories come. إما على سبيل التجدد, either for the first time or for remembrance, على سبيل التذكر. Sometimes, for example, all of a sudden you think of someone you met before. Sometimes something new comes to your mind. It's possible. الخواطر هي المحركات للإرادات. For example, you are studying, all of a sudden it comes to your mind to have a cup of tea. And many times we are just going after what comes to our mind. If we are not very rational and very much, in control, as soon as it comes to our mind, we go after it. Therefore, for shaitan, the main way of affecting us is just to bring something to our thought and present it in a beautiful way. We go after it, unfortunately. Most of people go after something when it comes to their mind. People who really think, evaluate, and if they find it's meeting hujjah, they have hujjah for it, they go after it, they will not be affected by shaitan or magic, etc. So, al-khawatir hiya al-muharrikatu lil-iradat. Khawatir moves, triggers iradat, wills. فإن النية والعزم والإرادة إنما تكون بعد خطور المنوي بالبال. Intention, you make intention of doing something, going somewhere, giving some charity. If before intention you think what happened, you realize there was a khawatir or khatir, one or many. For example, it came to your mind that to travel and then travel for ziyarah and go to this place with these people in this time. So many things came to your mind, and then you make an intention, and then azm wal irada, then you decide and are determined to do it. All is after that which was intended occurred to you. فَمَبْدَأُ الْأَفْعَالِ الْخَوَاطِرِ. So the basis, the origin of actions is the thoughts that we have. These thoughts move our raghba, our yearning, eagerness, and then raghba moves niyyah wal azm, and then niyyah and azm, they move our muscles. Now, there is a very beautiful paragraph here. Please listen to this beautiful paragraph, the way Mulla Muhsin Fayd Kashani explains the opposite role of shaitan and Satan's and angels. Satan's on the one side, angels on the other side. It's a very beautiful discussion here. He says, these khawatir trigger our raghbah, cause in us some shawq, some eagerness, okay? But it can be towards good things or bad things. تنقسم إلى ما يدعو إلى الشر وإلى ما يدعو إلى الخير. What do we mean by shar? What is bad? We mean by shar ما يضر في العاقبة. What in the long term, at the end, is harmful. Even if at the beginning gives us some pleasure, some benefit, in the long term is harmful. Khair is what benefits in the hereafter, in the long term is beneficial. Even if in the beginning is difficult, it's maybe sometimes painful, but in the long term is positive, beneficial. خب هما خاطران مختلفان. So these are two types of thoughts. One is towards goodness, one is towards badness. The one which is good, which is mahmud, which is praised, we call it ilham, inspiration. It comes to your mind, for example, now to do dua, to do salay rahim. These thought which comes to your mind, which is about doing something which is in the long term beneficial, is called ilham, inspiration. It must have come to you from somewhere. But we have also blamed or blameworthy thoughts. Here we call waswasa, temptation. So ilham is opposite to or versus waswasa, inspiration and temptation. Inspiration is towards khair, waswasa is towards shar. Now, what's the source? Who inspires? Who brings temptation? So, سبب الخاطر الداعي إلى الخير يسمى ملكا. Malak means angel. So the cause for good thoughts, those that invite us towards goodness, call us towards goodness, the source is angel. These are angelic thoughts. والسبب الداعي إلى الشر يسمى شيطانا. Not as shaitan, iblis. Shaitana, one of the Satans. Another beautiful terminology is, okay, this is not by chance that you receive ilham and then you accept ilham, because some people, even if good thoughts come to their mind, they dismiss it. اللطف الذي به يتهيأ القلب لقبول إلهام الملك يسمى توفيقا. That favor, that grace by which the heart is prepared for welcoming inspiration of angels is called tawfiq. Tawfiq makes your heart ready for receiving inspiration and accepting that. والذي به يتهيأ يعني يتهيأ القلب لقبول وسواس الشيطان, but the one that prepares the heart for accepting temptation of shaitan is called إغواء وخذلانا. إغواء, to deceive. خذلان means to leave without support, to abandon. So if we do something wrong, then as a result, maybe the punishment is that we would be prepared to accept temptations. What is malak here? What is shaitan here? It says al-malak, not malik, malak. Malak means angel. Al-malak ibaratun an khalqin khalaqahu Allah. Angel is a creation of Allah, yeah? Is a creation that Allah has created for what? For sending goodness. لِإِفَاضَةِ الْخَيْرِ. When Allah wants to give good, when Allah wants to spread good, when Allah wants to run this world with good sources and good forces and good agents, it's all through, or most of it through angels. Al-Mudabbirat Amra. Angels never do anything wrong, never do any mischief, any corruption, any zulm. Ibadun mukramun la ya'sun Allah ma amarahum wa hum bi'amrihi yaf'alun. These are honored servants of Allah that only act according to the will of Allah. They never disobey Allah. Beautiful angels we have, alhamdulillah. So خلق خلقه الله, عبارة خلق خلقه الله لإفاضة الخير وإفاضة العلم. When Allah wants to give knowledge, uses angels. Of course, not maybe always, but this is one way. وكشف الحق. When Allah wants to disclose the truth for you. وَالْوَعْدِ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Angels always promise us good things. They say, if you do this, you will gain good result. Encourage us, to study, encourage us to do charity work, encourage us to be patient, to do salih rahim, to do work for community, volunteering. And they're always encouraging us to do good things and promise that we would get reward, benefit, etc. Opposite to this are Satans. شأنه الوعد بالشر. Instead of وعد بالمعروف, الوعد بالشر. They always promise us or threaten us, because وعد sometimes means وعيد, that if you do this, these things, bad things happen to you. For example, you become poor. الشيطان يعدكم الفقر. Shaitan says, don't give charity, you become poor. Don't give khums, you become poor. الوعد بالشر والأمر بالفحشاء. Shaitan asks us to do bad things. والتخويف عند الهم بالخير. When you want to do something good, your ham, your niyyah, your interest is to do something good, Shaitan makes you afraid and says you, for example, will be losing, or you will be poor, bil-faqr. So we have two sources. القلب متجاذب بينهما. Qalb is attracted sometimes to this side, sometimes to the other side. Is affected. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله في القلب لمتان. لمة من الملك إيعاد بالخير وتصديق بالحق فمن وجد ذلك فليعلم أنه من الله فليحمد الله. There are two lamma in heart. Lamma, it is said in footnote, it says معناه النزول به والقرب منه. When you come down in a station, when you are close to something, this is lamma. And here maybe lamma means al-himma taqa'u fil qalb. That thing that comes to your heart that causes interest in you and make you intend doing something. Sometimes it is from angel, which is asking you to do good things, accepting good things, accepting haqq. If you find this in yourself, you should know that this is from God, and you should praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When something inside is encouraging you to do good things, to accept the truth. But it can be also lammatun min al-aduv. It can be from enemy, promising for doing bad things and rejecting the truth and prohibits doing good things. If you find that you are in such a mood, you don't want to accept the truth, you don't want to do anything good, you want to harm, you want to, attack, you want to, do harm, فَلْيَتَعَوَّذْ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ. So this is the time to seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from shaitan. Shaitan is attacking you. إِمَّا يَنزِغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. If shaitan attacks you, ask Allah to give you refuge. Then Rasulullah recited this ayah, الشَّيْطَانِ يَعِدُكُمُ الْفَقْرِ. Shaitan promises you to become poor. Also, we have this hadith that we discussed this in also the book by Ayatollah Shuja'i. Some of you were there when we studied that book on practical methods of self-purification. قلب المؤمن بين إصبعين من أصابع الرحمن. The heart of mu'min is between two fingers of Allah. Allah doesn't have, of course, physical fingers, but when we say Yadullah, means His power. Finger also, He doesn't have physical finger. He doesn't have hand, He doesn't have fingers. It stands for His power. Instruments, for example, that He uses. يُقَلِّبُهُ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. Then he adds as a commentary, Allah turns around your heart as He wants. He says this refers to the idea that there is quick change in heart. Allah can quickly bring changes to our heart, either by using angels or letting Satans to be free to come. فَإِنَّهُمَا مُسَخَّرَانِ بِقُدْرَتِهِ. These two are employed by Allah, and they can change the heart. Of course, we can ask Allah to only send us angels, but sometimes we force release of we can ask Allah to send angels, but we force Allah to release Satan. It's in our hand. It's not that Allah wants to force Satans on people. القلب بأصل الفطرة صالح لقبول آثار الملائكة ولقبول آثار الشيطان قبولا متساويا. He says, according to human fitra, human innate nature, heart is in a kind of middle position, can accept the effects of angels or the effects of shaitan. And he says it's equal. Although I myself have doubt that it is equal, I think in our fitrah we are more leaning towards angels and towards good things. Even in some of discussions, I have explained that when I was doing my PhD, I came with this idea that Allah has not put in us as a human being any genuine, any basic and irreducible desire for bad things as such. Some people, when I say this, they say, no, there is shahwa, there is, but my idea is that our shahawat are not made in the way that they must be satisfied with bad things. This is a long discussion. So I don't think we are in equal position through fitra. I think through fitra we are more towards angels. But yes, we can be affected by Satan as well. So there is possibility, but not that it's completely equal. He says, إنما يترجح أحدهما على الآخر باتباع الهوى والإكباب على الشهوات. If you follow your lower desires and move towards shahawat, negative side becomes more powerful. If you do mukhalafa with hawa and shahawat, you resist against your lower desires, then the side of malaika will be more powerful. فمهما غلب على القلب ذكر الدنيا ومقتضيات الهوى وجد الشيطان مجالا. If we keep thinking about dunya and interact with people who are just thinking about dunya, people who only think about money, about house, about stocks, about business, about I don't know, foreign for example exchange, etc. All the time they are thinking about dunya. I want to make my house bigger, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. Of course, to do business is not a bad thing, but to be always thinking about these things, then this will make shaitan able to approach us. وَجَدَ الشَّيْطَانِ مَجَالًا. Shaitan will find a place for javalan, a place for doing maneuver and attack us. Because you are hitless now. فَوَسْوَسَ. Shaitan does waswasa, temptation. But وَمَهْمَا انصرف مهما انصرف إلى ذكر الله ارتحل الشيطان وضاق مجاله. But if you try to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shaitan will go away. Shaitan will have very, very narrow passage to come. أقبل الملك. Angel comes. وألهم. And inspires. So, in the previous condition we said وَجَدَ الشَّيْطَانُ مَجَالًا فَوَسْوَسَ. But here we say أَقْبَلَ الْمَلَكُ وَأَلْهَمَ. Malak comes and inspires. So, التطارد بين جندي الملائكة والشيطان في معركة القلب دائم. So this wrestling and this offense and attack or defense between two soldiers and two armies of angels and shaitan in the battle inside heart is continuing دائمون till أن ينفتح القلب لأحدهما. The heart opens itself for one of the two armies, says, you come and settle here. فَيَسْكُنْ. So shaitan wants to gain control. Angel wants to come in. If we welcome shaitan, then the angel becomes the stranger. If we welcome angel, shaitan becomes a stranger. Which one you want to keep at home? So the one that can enter yaskun wala yastawhish. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Okay.
hear you.
Can settle and would not feel lonely. And then the other one, if wants to come, becomes like a thief. Is not inhabitant, it's a thief. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this beautiful ayah in Surah A'raf verse 201, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الذين اتقوا إذا مسهم طائف من الشيطان تذكروا فإذا هم مبصرون. Those who are muttaqi. Muttaqi doesn't have fixed shaitan. Yeah. من يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين. Those who don't remember Allah, they will have fixed shaitan with them. They are friends of shaitan. But muttaqin don't have fixed shaitan. But shaitan still would not